started as a contractor, part 1. So we are going to go through whether it's actually something you should be considering doing and what it takes to kind of get yourself started. So I'm a contractor, I've been a contractor for a few years now, and I had a struggle really getting into the industry and kind of understanding it, so I decided to put this series together to help other people understand what it is that we actually do. So I am a tax contractor, so I work in finance, lots of contract roles within the finance niche, but there's loads in other niches. I know, like doctors, IT people. So let's go through the main points that I think are really important to understand before you go into it. First up, you need to have a professional qualification and be an expert in your field. You don't have to be at a super high level because there's contract jobs for every level basically. Obviously not very junior, but every level from kind of newly qualified right up to very senior. There is kind of something for everybody, and of course they go for different rates. So once you've got your qualification, you've got enough experience, you can go into a contract role. You are expected to kind of hit the ground running from day one, so you need to make sure that you know what you're doing. Moving from a permanent job into a contract role, now this is where you're going to have to take a risk because you're going to have to quit your job with no role lined up. Because the thing is, I know like in my industry, we have a 3-month notice period. No contractor is getting hired 3 months in advance. We usually get hired 2 weeks before the job actually starts or less. So people want us immediately available. Without that immediate availability, you're not going to have any takers. So you have to be willing to take the risk and quit your job. Getting your first job. Now, if you already know kind of the clients you want to work with, you could obviously target them directly. However, for most of us, like for me, I didn't know who I was going to really work with when I first started. So what I went for is I went onto LinkedIn and targeted interim recruiters, interim tax recruiters in my case. What they'll do is they will jump on a call with you, you'll share your details, and as roles come in, they will send them over to you. But again, you have to be basically immediately available for them to even entertain the idea of speaking with you. Setting up your contract. So you need to be aware of IR35, which is basically the off-payroll rules that HMRC have set up in order to stop people who are basically employees of a company gaining a tax advantage by working through their own limited companies, when really what they're providing is the same service as an employee and they're not having to pay any national insurance contributions. I've got loads on IR35 in different videos if you want to hear more. Also happy to go through all the contracts. Maybe I'll do a video going through all the different types of ones you can have, because you can have inside IR35 through an umbrella company, inside IR35 actually on the company's payroll, and you can also have outside IR35 through your own limited company. So I'm happy to go through that in more detail if we need it. But you need to decide which one you're going to do, because you can't really pick and choose between them. There is a different set of rules for each way you are working, and they each have their own advantages and disadvantages. Again, happy to go into it more in a different video.